Hey everybody, Danny Mod here. Thanks for joining us. This week we're talking the trail arm for two reasons. The first one is this. Understanding and learning how to feel how it works will help you to put pressure on the back of the golf ball so you can start to strike that ball first and avoid hitting the ground behind the golf ball. So those lovely compressed strikes. The second thing it really helps to do is it helps to stabilize the face and help you create an arc, a real great arc. So if you've seen that you're getting lots of curvature on a golf ball, too much curvature, understanding the feel of how this arm works through impact can really, really help. The second reason, or the third reason, should I say, why I'm bringing it to you, is my dad phones me up and says, Danny, my dad slices his driver quite a bit at times, and his ball striking was a bit inconsistent with his irons. He said, Danny, I've watched this video and it's been really, really helpful, and I'm hitting it a lot better. I said, oh cool, which one did you watch? Oh, it wasn't one of your videos, it was from a guy called Chris Ryan. I said, what? You've been watching other people's videos? No, joking aside, look, Chris created a really great video. I'll put a link actually in the description box below on how the trail arm works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring some of the things that Chris brought to my dad that's helped and expand on it a little bit with a couple of drills of my own. Before I do though, look, if you're new to the channel, this is one of your first videos of mine, please consider subscribing. Press that little bell button, next subscribe button, you get notified every time I release a video just like this one. Plus, look, if you do enjoy the video, there will be a full practice plan that you can download completely for free. I'll put it in the description box below and I'll pin it to the top comment. Just download it for free. Great, let's get stuck into this golf lesson. So what I want you to do now is stand up. Don't watch this sitting down. If you can do this with me, you can really learn to feel it. So stand up if you can. So actually, we don't need the golf club. Put a golf club down. All you need is you. So what we're going to do is take your hand, and what I want you to do is this. Let your arms just literally hang down naturally, and just have a look at them. Notice how the arm here is all rolled in, your hands are rolled in. Now, unfortunately, this is a position that is not like impact. It is a position, however, that I see a lot of people in when they approach impact. Their arms are rolled this way and they become quite flicky, yeah? What do we need instead? So what's different in impact? Well, what I want you to do now is this. Rotate your elbow so it starts to move towards the midline of your chest. This is the position of this section of your arm at impact. And then what I want you to do is simply rotate your hands so the palm faces downwards towards the ground. Feels very different, doesn't it? That is the position of impact. So relaxed is there, rolled in, towards impact, there. This is what's going to give you that pressure on the golf ball, so you strike that golf ball first. It's going to help you compress even your driver. You can get a good strong contact with driver. But look at it from here. Why do we want this? Why do we go into this position? Well, look at this. Do this with me so you can feel this. When you're here, and this starts to rotate, the elbow starts to move towards your midline, you start to activate all of this right side to drive through that shot, to give you power. That's why it's there. Watch the difference. I'm going to do it with me. If you do this, can you see where suddenly none of this is activated anymore? Suddenly now, all your power is going to come from just this shoulder joint and the arm. We're going to be in big trouble for lack of power, and more important, look at this. Can I get the pressure on the golf ball? No, it becomes flicky again, yeah? Look at it with the golf club here. When I'm coming in here, I'm putting pressure on the golf ball here. I'm able to activate that side. When I don't, oh no, now we're in trouble. Unstable club face, ball could go anywhere, and a huge loss of power. So let's give you now a 3-step process on how you can generate some feel with this. Hope that helped just on its own. So don't need a golf club for this. You could if you want. I'm going to grab a alignment stick. If you don't have a alignment stick, just grab a old garden cane or even a golf club. And what I want you to do is stage 1 in this process is what I call rock the baby. Now, unfortunately, you might be one of those golfers where no matter how hard you try, you just can't get that compression on your irons. And one of the reasons is because your legs have gone to sleep. Maybe you've kind of struggled with strike, you're trying so hard, these have gone to sleep, and suddenly all you have left is just the arm swing. And unfortunately, without your body working, that's all you have, and that's what you have to do. You'll never be able to get this position at impact with the trail arm. So stage 1 is to learn to feel how the lower body is the foundation of the golf swing. Then we add the arm in. So what we're going to do is first of all, is we're going to get the feet doing this. We're going to get the feet rolling onto the big toe on the left and then onto the right. Watch this. So, and I call this rock the baby. Watch this. I'm moving, look, onto the big toes of both feet here as I rock the baby. This is helping me create a very, very natural pivot. Very, very important to get the first piece of the puzzle in, yeah? So just get this feeling with me. You'll also notice, look at this, look at the position of this trail arm. It's not rolled in, it's underneath here. We're learning to feel how this works with the pivot, look, of the body. Look at it from this angle. All I'm doing is pivoting up onto my big toes, backwards and forwards. This is like a great mini golf swing here. The alignment stick's kind of going at roughly about 45-degree angle back and on the way through. Now watch this. If I rolled it this way, we're in trouble. This is me activating the roll. Watch this on the way through. If I go now, start to roll this and this comes out, it can be pretty painful. So look at the difference. It just really helps you here develop this great feeling of how the arm works with this pivot of the body. You need the pivot in first. Rock the baby, then we'll move use this again actually, we can move on to stage 2. By all means, you could hit some golf balls just like that if you wanted. Why don't we do that? So we could hit some golf balls. I don't think we're quite ready yet, but if this section's quite new to you, you might want to do that. So you might just want to actually hit some golf balls initially, just activating this pivot. That's absolutely fine. So we're not going to focus too much on the trail arm at this stage, but we just might just activate the lower pivot of the body. Just chip a few balls down there. That's absolutely fine. Once you've done that once or twice and you've got a rough idea of the feeling, then what I want you to do is I want you to then take the same thing and move to the spear exercise. So what you're doing now is this. You're going to hold this position in play. You're going to start to kind of get the motion here, going backwards and forwards into the spear motion here. Now look at this. We're going to spear the ball, and watch this. We get to here. The shaft is parallel to my foot line here. And watch. I'm simply going to pivot through the shot. My shoulders down. Look at this motion here. Very different, watch this, to if I was to hit here and start to roll. Again, you can see that's going to be pretty painful. So it really trains the motion. If you hook the golf ball, you might do this, okay? So this is really helping to get that feeling of this pivot of the trail arm. Notice it from this angle. 1, 2. Look at my arm here. I have not rolled it and flicked it. It's still in this solid position. Now, let's have a look at this in action. So you might want to start really small with this, just chip a few balls down the fairway, just to get the feeling. In fact, I sometimes do what I call some kind of almost freezer style swing, so I get to about here, and then just simply pivot through. So let's have a look at this in action. So we're going to get the pivot, we're just going to get the feel of that pivot, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Look at that, there's that motion, and then watch this. We're going to pivot through and hold that finish. 1, 2. Just a nice simple pivot down the fairway, chipping it down there, no big shots at all at this stage. Now, why would I hold the finish? Well, Chris in his video gave a really great reason why holding the finish through this shot would give you some wonderful feedback. So what you're going to do is, clearly we want to get that feeling of the right arm putting pressure on the golf ball, no roll and flick. So we want to check to see at the end of the shot what we've done. Have we been successful? Okay, so we're going to get yourself here, we're going to get that pivot through, and we're going to literally pivot through the shot, and we're going to hold the finish position, and we're going to check. Now look, if I move back to impact, I've still got all of this position intact. If I'd have done this, if I'd have in a sense gotten in and flicked the club, and then I start to move back, look at that motion, yeah? We'll be able to get some great feedback. So now, when you go to full motions and full swings, it's going to be a little bit different. You won't be able to stop the momentum, and that's absolutely fine. So this is just simply to get the feeling of this trail arm and what it's supposed to be doing through the impact. And we start small, and we're going to build it up from there. Let's have another look at this in action. So, small little pivot, small little shots, you're chipping towards the green, backwards and forwards. You can already see the power starting to kind of creep up. But I don't want to push this too much. All we're going to try and do is get that sensation of how this works. Now, this I find for some people is very, very tricky because they've been so used to the power coming on with their arm that it's hard to get rid of. It feels like they're not putting any energy in initially with this. They were having to resist this, and it can feel a little bit tricky. So be patient with it. It's one of those exercises that can feel a bit strange to start with, and that's absolutely fine. That's why we don't worry about big shots. You just kind of generally, again, just rock the baby, get that sensation of that pivot here. Then we're going to gradually, in a sense from here, feel what it's like to spear the ball and then pivot underneath. Look at this, I'm not rolling here. I am from there, look, I'm simply pivoting under. We could then move backwards and forwards, just feel the motion stop, go it in, walk to the golf ball, and then just play a few little shots. And do it like that and build a system up like that so it's nice and simple, and then work it up to your bigger shots. Take your time with this. You know, it will feel strange, but you know what? Once you get it, it's like any sport. You throw a ball, you already can do this. This is what you would do. You play tennis, you would do this. So it is very, very relatable to many other things. You've probably just built a few habits, and my dad had done exactly that. He'd been trying to gain some distance. He'd been throwing the angles away, throwing his arms at it. One of the big things, by the way, wasn't really using the feet. You don't use the feet, you can't use the arm correctly. You're going to be forced into using the arm. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with one of your friends who could do with some help. Dad, I really hope this adds to what you're doing. Chris, thank you for creating such a great video. Like I say, I'll put a link to Chris's video in the description box below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, press that subscribe button and the bell so I can give you some more videos next week. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week. One more thing, practice guide. If you enjoyed it, in the description box below, go and pick it up. It's yours, completely for free. Enjoy. Have a great week.